What if I told you that in 1932, a modern, battle-hardened army declared war on birds? And what if I told you the birds won? This isn't a myth. It's a recorded fact of history, but the official story is a lie. The real enemy wasn't the emus. It was an invisible force, a devastating principle that had been growing for years. And the scariest part, that same force is at war with you right now. We love to talk about compounding when it comes to money. Small investments growing into a fortune, but we never talk about how it works in reverse. A compounding debt. It's the little things you ignore, day after day. One missed workout, one small unhealthy meal, one task you put off until tomorrow. Each act is insignificant on its own. A single drop of rain, but over time those drops become a flood. For the farmers of Western Australia in 1932, the flood was coming. They were World War I veterans, promised paradise. Instead, they got a crippling depression, plummeting wheat prices, and a crippling drought. Every single day, their financial debt was compounding, pushing them closer to ruin. They were fighting an unseen battle against economic collapse. And then, the emus arrived. 20,000 emus, driven by drought, descended on these struggling farms. They were like a plague, eating and destroying everything. So the desperate farmers called the government, and the government sent in the army. Major Meredith, armed with 2 state-of-the-art Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. On paper, it was a slaughter. In reality, it was a comedy. The emus, it turned out, were geniuses of guerrilla warfare when fired upon. They didn't flee as one big target. They split into countless small groups and ran in every direction. They were too fast, too smart. The first attempt was a disaster. The second was even worse. They mounted a machine gun on a truck, hoping to chase the emus down. But the truck couldn't keep up. The ride was too bumpy to aim, and after 1,000 rounds were fired, they had maybe a dozen kills. One soldier reportedly had a nervous breakdown. The press back home had a field day, mocking the military for being outsmarted by birds. After a month, the army quietly withdrew, defeated. This is the moment everyone gets wrong. They laugh at the soldiers, but the soldiers never stood a chance. They were trying to solve a decade of compounded problems with a machine gun. They were fighting the symptom, not the disease. So what does a failed bird war from 1932 have to do with you? Everything. Think about it. That massive project you can't start. That debt you can't pay off, that unhealthy habit you can't break, that isn't a single giant enemy. That's your flock of emus. It's the result of 100 small decisions, 1,000 tiny compromises that have compounded over years. And what do? We declare war. We go on a crash diet. We pull an all-nighter. We make a dramatic New Year's resolution. We bring out the machine guns to solve a problem that requires a fence, built one post at a time. We fight the battle exactly like Major Meredith did, and we are destined to fail for the exact same reason. The Great Emu War isn't a story about failure. It's a controversial lesson about the nature of problems. The real victory isn't in a single, dramatic battle. It's in the small, consistent, daily acts that prevent the war from ever starting. It's about building your fence, one post at a time. So my question to you is, what is your emu war? What battle are you fighting that's really a symptom of something deeper? Let's uncover some hidden truths together in the comments below. And if you want to explore more ideas that challenge conventional wisdom, make sure you subscribe to Thought Trek and ring the bell so you never miss an expedition into the knowledge vault. Thanks for watching.